welcome you, welcome you to tonight's momentum. I want to welcome today is a great day, as is every day, and that's what you should be thinking about every single day when you wake up, as the day goes throughout, and you're living life, and then as you're wrapping up, you want to recap on the greatness that you had. I have a little song for you about the topic that we're covering tonight, and hopefully it will enlighten you and give you a little bit of good love. Here we go. Oh yeah. Tonight we're going to talk about some love, specifically self-love, and how this affects you, affects your life, affects everything going around you, and why it's important to have strong love for yourself. Okay? Let that play for a little bit and then we'll turn it off. But self-love, okay? Regards for one's own well-being and happiness, okay? We're going to go over a variety of things of what it is, what's going on in your world, characteristics of both positive and negative, self-esteem for yourself, self-love. We want to talk about how to create positive self-love inside you. We want to talk about factors that influence your self-love. We're going to talk about the critic inside, you know, that little guy, that little devil that sits up here and kind of talks in your ear, trips in there about what's going on and cuts you down. We're going to go over a couple processes that are going to allow you to boost some self-love. We've got some hacks, some self-love hacks, and then finally I'm going to leave you with something special that I think that you'll really enjoy and can take to heart. Heart's on the left side, right there, okay? So again, self-love, regard for one's own well-being and happiness, okay? We hear things like, you have to love yourself more. Why don't you love yourself? If you only love yourself, this wouldn't have happened to you. You can't love another person until you love yourself first, right? These are a lot of things that we hear from the self-love. These are directives and things that we suggest that this is a way to living more fulfilled, right? Self-love is important to living well. We know these things. It influences how you pick your mate. It influences projects, the image that you project at work. It tells you how you cope with the problems in your life. So it really kind of, if you turn inward, those are some important things. It is so important to your welfare that I want you to know how to bring more of it into your life, okay? I love myself, not on like a narcissistic way, but I think and feel, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that music. I'm glad you like it. Did some head bopping. Yeah. In general, I'm overall positive person, and hopefully you see that, and it shines through me, and hopefully reflects on you as well, and lifts you up. I know one person we had to do a little self-love on last night, and they had left empowered and ready to attack and ready to break through any nonsense that they were carrying around the majority of the day. Here's where self-love does not come from. Doesn't come from a beauty makeover. Doesn't come from new clothes. Doesn't come from reading something inspirational. Okay? Self-love is a state of appreciation for oneself that grows from actions that support our physical, psychological, and spiritual growth. Okay? It's in you. Through actions, through consistent actions, being persistent, determined, making the efforts that you need will get you to where you want to go. I need to make sure I kill the music so it doesn't go on to something else. There we go. So hopefully you enjoyed that music. Great song from Night of the Roxbury's. My boy Will Ferrell and Chris, I can't think of his last name. So good movie. So again, going back to what self-love, it's state of appreciation that grows from action, okay? Nothing happens without action. Literally, if you're seated, nothing's going to happen. If you stand up and you start moving, action is then taken, and then we can start making and taking steps forward that are going to enrich your life, but physically, mentally, spiritually, and all around, okay? Self-love is dynamic, okay? It ebbs and flows, it moves, it bends, it grows with us. It grows by action that mature us, okay? The more mature we are, hopefully, the more self-love you can appreciate for yourself. I'm going to get some self-love in here with some water. Should be drinking plenty of water. Water alone, we are water, and if you're not hydrated, then you're going to feel crummy regardless, 100%. Like my hands, you can't really see, they feel dry. You can feel it here too. So if naturally, like, I just don't have energy, I don't have life, I don't have water in me, I'm not hydrated, go get dehydrated. Tell me how you feel. Like severely dehydrated to where you have to go get saline drip or something. I've been there. I didn't get a saline drip, but I've been really dehydrated, so much so that I basically passed out, fell from my feet to the floor, just like a tree in the woods, timber. And you don't feel good, so there's no way you can love yourself. So taking care, we're going to talk about some self-care and stuff. So right now we want to talk about characteristics of both positive self-love and self-esteem, and also negative. Now, characteristics of negative self-esteem. Self-esteem is a critical factor in this. One, afraid of challenges, afraid to step up and be challenged and have to overcome something that might be in your way. So it's like climbing that hill. We need to get up the hill, get over the top, and create that momentum that we need in our life. Two, non-assertive, okay? We're not being assertive. We're not initiating. That's number three. So you're not assertive. You are more passive in this. Let life happen to you. And then you don't initiate. So you're not ever taking charge of what's going on in your life. That's something we're going to be talking about more tonight, is taking charge and being in action with what's going on. Pessimistic, shy, desire to blame others. It's not your fault, it's their fault. Chances are it's your fault because you got in relation with that other person or whatever, that situation that was going on around you that caused issues to come up in the first place. You have low aspirations. Hopefully, if you come into my presence, those immediately jump up fivefold, okay? I expect a lot of myself, and consequently I expect a lot for those people that I work with, or I would have not even offered to work with you, okay? That's super important. I want people that are go-getters, action takers, that are going to step up, initiate, and move, and love themselves so that they can get the desire, reach the desires that they want, specifically in their health and their fitness and nutrition. They're often indecisive. They just don't do anything. They don't take that action. They don't take even that first step. They get overwhelmed. Paralysis analysis. Okay, it does not work to be indecisive. Decide and go forth. If it's a bad decision, you'll figure that out pretty quick. Then you'll have the opportunity to course correct and then change the game, fix it for yourself so that you are then able to start doing the things that you need to. Another one, complains and criticizes about the situation you're in, about poor health, about poor finances, about poor relationships that you are in. That is often found in the case. Going back to circumstances, finding yourself in the bad circumstances. Why? Because you allow it to happen to you. If someone loves themselves, they're not going to put themselves in harm's way, in danger. So it's just not going to happen, okay? We want to avoid stretching the truth to impress others. A lot of people go around banging their chest. I'm often find in my little circle of folks that I have surrounded myself with, and people I'm viewing into on like Facebook and whatnot, they'll talk about these marketing gurus or whatever renting these mansions and cars to portray a lifestyle that they are not actually living. A little bit of hypocrisy going on there. So they say, it'd be like me, I have six-pack abs and I want you to, and I am 40 pounds overweight. In all actuality, that is not good. It's stretching the truth. You often find yourself depressed, down, low energy. Again, we're still reviewing some characteristics of low self-esteem. You're always giving to others, okay? This can be a good thing, but again, we go back to the oxygen mask when you're in an airplane. Who gets the oxygen mask first? They pop down from the ceiling. You need to then put that on yourself so then you can go put it on others. If you fill yourself up, your cup will spill over into theirs, and you will be able to give them tenfold you than you trying to just give to others and not ever take care of yourself. You often are alone. You're not around. As humans, we're social. We are connected with individuals. We want and desire that. And if you have low self-esteem, low energy, you're going to try and avoid that as much as possible. Last up, we hold grudges, and you hold them for too long. You fail to forgive and move on and move forward, okay? I've experienced that myself. There's still like one or two people that I'm still kind of holding some grudges against, and those are things that I've been working really hard to just let go and let that wind blow it away, because any thought process that happens in that just turns sour, everything else sour, negativity just like oozes out of me, and that's definitely not 100% not what I want to be surrounded with, or I want others to see from me on any single level. All right, let's talk about characteristics of self-love, the positive ones, okay? Self-confident. Hopefully you can see that in me. I am confident in my capacity, my abilities to be Brian, and move forth with that. That's something I have to actually engage with and do. It's not something, it happens the majority of the time. Probably 90% of the time I'm just go, but there's that 10% that I'm constantly engaging, and that's where the next one, seeking self-improvement, always trying to improve. I learn from what's going on, I pivot. I spoke to this from someone else. All of our experiences in life are you're rewarded with the experience of it. It just comes out in a different way. So, for example, like if I'm looking to enroll a new client, then I'm either rewarded with a new client or rewarded with how I need to approach the next person that is looking for help, so that I might actually be able to help them. Because guess what? If they don't seek my help, hopefully they seek others' help, but chances are they don't seek anything at all. They take their car that's kind of cruising along, and it just starts running out of gas. Next thing you know, it has a flat tire, and they are not doing anything at all. They're not taking any more action. I've seen this time and again. Okay. You have unconditional acceptance for yourself. You accept who you are. You know who you are on a strong, deep level, and therefore you can be you. You assume responsibility for your own life. Okay, that's super important. No one is going to do this. No one is going to hold your hand through this process. Meaning, like, they're going to do it for you. It doesn't happen like that. That's how the real world is. So, ultimately, you need to be able to take responsibility for yourself. And thanks for sharing the love. Like, that's something that I'm doing, that I have personally experienced in my business life and whatnot. I did not accept that responsibility and let others take control of what was going on in the business, how the direction of it, the direction of my life. I spent basically 2 years of my first business sleeping 4 hours a night, Monday through Friday, because I let the guy, my partner at the time, tell me that I was the one that had to be at the gym at 5 in the morning doing the work. I was the one that had to be answering the phones in the middle of the day, even though I was dog tired. I was the one that had to go back in the evening and coach some more, get done around 9, 10 o'clock, go to bed at midnight and start it again. Like, that was because I thought that this guy had my best intentions and our best intentions as partners, and it was not the case. And so because I lacked responsibility, I therefore suffered on more levels than I'd care to share. So it was quite an experience. So was self-love strong at that time for Brian, for BP? No, it was not. His self-love was rather poor for himself. Constantly stressed, overtired, just fatigued, just rolled over and didn't stand up for myself and my thoughts of who I am, what I do. So that was something that, like, personally, like, hit me pretty good. Tolerates frustrations well. Life is full of, it's a nice roller coaster in it, and so we're always going to be frustrated on some level, and we want to make sure that we can tolerate it well. We experience something, we learn from it, we pivot, and we go in the direction that's going to best suit us, best solve our problem, and get going. We're assertive, we're outgoing, we take calculated risks, and we have a loving attitude. That love has to come from the inside. It comes out, and it shows up in giving. It shows up in knowledge to others and gifts that you personally have that you can give to others. We have self-directed, those who have strong self-love or self-directed. They can motivate themselves. They can take leverage whatever capacity they have to better their situation, because then if their situation is better, then their capacity to give more love is better. So, for example, this last year, since I took control of me personally, I have had a great amount more success on many levels in different areas of my life, and consequently, I'm able to give back more. I'm able to participate more in other areas of life rather than trying to just rise and grind every day. So I've really kind of been able to experience a better side of life because of taking control of what's going on. So cheers to some self-love there. Okay. How do we create positive self-love inside you? A couple different key points here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them I want to kind of point out to you. So, number one, we want to gain self-awareness. Okay, if you're aware of what's going on around you, what's going on inside you, what that story within is sharing with you and the rest of the world, then we're able to course correct. We're able to move and bend with it and actually deal with it if it's in a negative sense. If it's in a positive sense, then we can turn that up a couple notches and then give that out. We learn self-acceptance. The world is a cruel, cruel place at times, and will beat you down and pull you down. It's like the crabs in a bucket. One starts to climb out, guess what? The others are going to pull it right back down, therefore letting no crabs out. And that's kind of what happens in the world even. So accepting yourself for who you are, what you're about, what your beliefs are, what that self-love is, will actually push you forward to having more positive self-love. We talked about it, taking charge of your life, planning the future. The past is behind us. Forgive. We don't have to forget. Sometimes we might want to forget. But forgive, move forward, reflect on, but not live in the past. We need to be present with where we are right now. What are we doing? Who are we in front of? What's going on in our world? And then from there, we can look forward and plan for the future. The future has not yet happened, but you control what is going to happen. You don't like your present situation. To a day from now, 1 month from now, 1 year from now, you can have a completely different environment around you. It reminds me of an old client I actually reconnected with on Facebook message. He sent me, it's been 2 years since he's had a drop of alcohol. He said that in the challenge that we had done together back 2 years ago, he obviously wasn't loving himself, and consequently he was going to other avenues to find that acceptance and love and a way to get out of it. And so what happens is that he's not had any alcohol for the last 2 years, and kudos to him for doing that. And that's something to him. I don't think it was alcohol in general. I think it was he was using that as a vehicle to soothe his pains. And when he took responsibility, he was able to step up. The cool thing is whatever he was doing for work, I think it was a sales position. He's since got out of that, went back to school, became an EMT, and is going to be a firefighter as well. So completely and utterly different lifestyle, different people, different environment that he was able to create in himself because he finally took charge. He initiated and moved forward. So it was a really, really cool thing to see. Managing yourself with success. When we have success, we've seen it a million times, like the one-hit wonders, the Hollywood stars that go broke, the self-sabotage can come into play if you don't have strong self-confidence, self-awareness of who you are, what you're about, and how you need to move. It can be very easily to get caught up in the wrong crowd and then derail you, and that just really does not work well for you. Practicing self-renewal is another quality that we want. Okay, this can come in multiple different ways, from journaling. That's one of the things that I would love to encourage you to do. Writing down things that you're grateful for, just letting things come out of the mind, writing it down so you can get that stuff out of you and see what's going on inside. Because when we can, again, self-awareness, then we truly can kind of peek into what's going on and pivot again to what we need to do, because you're an action taker. You initiate things. You're directed to goodness and loving yourself. Then self-renewal comes in, so like journaling or meditation or relaxation time, true relaxation, not numbing and checking out. Like Netflix and chill can definitely be a time where you end up trying to numb. It could be the same thing like the alcohol, just a different version of it, whereas trying to check out and get away from that stuff. So not cool. Now, last one here. The last one I want to do in creating a positive self-love inside you is you become what you think. They had the book Think and Grow Rich. There's lots of self-help help books around this, that you become what you think, what you envision. You can step into that person. I personally am looking for who's BP in 3 years, and I want to aggressively pull that version of myself toward me now in my present, so that I do the things I need to do. I step up and I take charge and I change lives. I add more value into the world. This is an example. These Monday night talks didn't happen before June, and I decided that I needed to do more. I needed add more value to my current clients, and then consequently, here I am, weeks and weeks later, still doing this. Why? Because I think it's a good value to you to be able to see these things and think about these things. Let me see if I can think of another example of physical change. Betsy, this is fantastic. I've helped thousands of people at this point throughout my 2005, so 10 years of actually being graduated and working in the real life. Rewind another 5 years before that when I was working at the YMCA and I did group exercise and stuff. So it's been like 15 years or so that I've been engaged with actively helping others achieve something greater for themselves. And so Betsy, 50-year-old female at the time, didn't work out before we met, okay? She was a lifestyle gal of mine. And so what happened was when we were in lifestyle, so what happened was, Betsy's story was, it was a 50-year-old female. She wanted to start kayaking, and she could only find 40-year-old men that kayak. Those were it. So, like, guess what? Those are people who she started kayaking with. Well, if you're 50 and you've never worked out before in your life, and you really, you might do some minor recreational stuff, but nothing intense, she's like, I need to start working out. I need to start building my body up. And so that's exactly what she did. She had another trainer for a couple of years. I ran into her. She started working in my little group class that I had. Then in spinning classes that I instructed, my ab class that I instructed, and then ultimately I took her on as a private client. And from there, over the course of 5 years, so I met her, I think that I took her in around age 55-ish or so. By the time she was 60, she followed me all the way through to when I went into my first CrossFit gym. And they had the CrossFit Open, and they opened up the Masters class. So she was able to compete against other women that were of her same age and ability level. The cool thing here is that we somehow managed to talk her into doing the CrossFit Open, which was kind of the preceding steps to get to the CrossFit Games. And she, because we worked on her mindset, we worked on empowering her, she ended up placing second in the CrossFit Open, which then qualified her to go to the CrossFit Games. We went out to California and we, again, working on that mindset, preparing the body, preparing the mind, preparing the food, all these things, that she ended up winning the CrossFit Games. She went 3 years in a row. She got first, second, and eighth. And so because she had a strong, engaged mind on what her goals were, what was going on, this woman could deadlift 250 pounds. She could rope climb. She could do pull-ups. It was insane. She had a little four-pack thing going on for a grandma with grandchildren. It was completely and utterly awesome. Now, I don't have to say that you don't need to be able to do 250-pound squat or deadlift or anything, or climb ropes or whatever. But again, you become what you think. Okay. Let's talk about factors that influence your self-love. Number one, feedback from others. People can positively and negatively affect you. They say that you are as successful, and that is in terms of multiple levels, from financial, spiritual, mental, physical, like a lot of different areas, as the 5 closest people around you. So take a look around. Who's around you? What's going on? And how are they influencing your life? and they're going to give you feedback from their perspective back to you, and kind of mirror what's going on at times, or mirror themselves and push that onto you. So your feedback from others can directly influence your self-love. Secondly, family environment. Okay, we all have families in some level. They're all wonderful, and they're all kind of messed up in the same way, right? And so depending on if your parents or your grandparents, I had a very loving and supporting grandmother that just recently passed. She I could call her up, she'd call me. So, Brian, you're the best husband, you're the best father, you're the best everything. And so she really lifted me up. Hugely, hugely important. I'll share this with you. My dad was, my parents divorced when I was like 10, and so I saw my dad every other weekend. I thought we had a great relationship for what it was. By the time I got to college, it was really kind of developing my relationship with Amber. She's my high school sweetheart, and from there, I just got busy. Like, I'm working. I had a house now. We have a dog. The first son's starting to come on the way, and Levi, and consequently, my dad just like checks out, and he just like skips. Like, he ended up just leaving the state. We didn't even talk about it. It's just crazy. So I have on one side of the coin my grandma always lifting me up. The other side, my dad just kind of disappearing and not giving me that fatherly love that all men need. So it's just like kind of mind-boggling about that. But I don't need his love. I don't need anyone's love. I have my own love, and I have God's love. So, and that's the most important for me and gets me through my day. Another factor that influences what's going on is your task proficiency and accomplishments. Can you get something done in a timely manner? Can you accomplish the task that you actually wanted to do? So we're talking directly about health and fitness, nutrition. Now, you have goals, you have things that you need to accomplish. We need to then get them done in a timely manner. If you come back next week and we're still talking about the same things that we did the week before, like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you caring about yourself that you can't elevate your game to then knock these things off the checklist that need to happen? If you want to live up here, not down here, if you want to live up here, there's a certain number of things that you need to do on a regular basis that holds you up here. When you don't do those things, it starts to slide down. You know what I'm talking about. It could be as simple, again, as drinking enough water. It could be a pain in the butt to go to the bathroom multiple times a day. But if you're hydrated, you'll have energy, and you'll be able to move and flow and do the things you need to. So task proficiency and accomplishing things. Another factor that influences your self-love is physical appearance, right? Look in the mirror. Do you love what you see? If you don't, again, you have direct capacity to change it, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're engaging in right now, is changing the way you look and feel about yourself. So physical appearance is a huge factor that I see on a regular basis. I talk to people that take action on doing stuff, and I talk to people that don't take action on doing stuff. So it's just not good. I just got a text message right now that just came in, literally right this second. This guy, had been inviting him regularly to work out with me and participate with me, and he just doesn't change. He's easily 50 pounds overweight or more likely more. We've been going at this. He's a friend of mine. We've been going at this for like well over a year and a half now, and he still weighs the same. He's not taking the actions, and so like his threshold for pain is not there yet. There's nothing that I can do or say, because he's got 4 kids. I've leveraged, he's almost 40. I've leveraged like, hey man, you're living an awesome life. You've got plenty of money. You've got your own business. You can make your own hours. You can travel whenever you want. You're not landlocked into a job. You can create your own business, your own wealth, your own success. And dude, you weigh 300 pounds. You've got 4 kids, 10 and under. Like, it's not, you're not going to be around to see these. You don't see 300-pound men walking around when they're 70 years old. It just doesn't happen. I cannot get this guy to take responsibility for himself and where he's at, which is just mind blowing, because this dude's very into personal development and stuff, but we can't shine the light on this cause that will drive him to take the necessary actions to accomplish what he wants. Another factor is academic achievement, right? So those who are more educated are consequently better off in life. Why? They can leverage their situation to their maximum. They are seeking improvement and they are moving forward, okay? So it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a PhD, because there's people that don't have they don't even have their high school degree and they're doing plenty well and they have plenty of self-love. What academic achievement is taking those the book smarts match with the street smarts and actually accomplishing something, taking the skills and using them to benefit you. Let's talk about self-beliefs. Okay, another important factor. Again, you are what you think, and those who go forward and move forward have strong self-beliefs. Right here, I believe I've got strong goals that I want to do. I'm actually tomorrow I'm going to be talking with somebody else to help move me forward, move me up, help hold me accountable, and we'll see if we can get this thing to work and drive and push. Personal aspirations for their life. They have strong, they want to, most people, they want to travel, they want to have a sense of freedom in their life, to be able to do the things that they want to do and not be held back by physical time or tasks or whatever. I've really kind of had a strong self-discovery here on my personal aspirations for a sense of freedom to be able to do the things I want to do. And again, this past year really have enjoyed myself in the capacity that is what I do and how I impact others. Media is a strong factor in our self-love. Why? Check out any magazine cover, right? A lot of TV shows, like vanity is everywhere, right? And then last up is definition of success. We talked about this a little bit, but is it just financial? Is it just spiritual? Is it just physical? Is it just mental? Like, there's a lot of ways to define success. A fortune cookie I just had received a couple weeks ago said that this month is going to be a month of great prosperity. Now, of course, first thing we want to think about is prosperity in terms of financial, right? Financial gain, right? Of course, like that's what everybody wants, sure, because the money allows you to do something greater. It allows a better experience. But at the time, I was at P.F. Chang's, and I was opening up a fortune cookie, and I read that this month is going to bring great prosperity, and I had to stop and recognize that I was experiencing prosperity right then and there, and I was grateful that I was around the women in my life, my wife and my daughter, that I was able to share that time with them, and that brings further self-love. Let's talk about the critic inside, that little guy up here chirping your ear, that little devil guy. You got the angel, you got the devil, and this critic inside talks to us. It's seen and reflected in a negative self-inner voice that finds faults and undermines your actions, right? There's the negative words such as like stupid, ugly, clumsy, you're fat, you're like all these things, curse words at yourself. These are things that you would never, ever, ever allow anyone else to talk to you like that. but you talk to yourself, you put up with it, and you don't have enough self-love or courage to stand up for what you believe and you feel is inside you. And what we need to do is elevate that sense of worth and self-love so we can get rid of this inner talk. I'm going to throw a challenge at you as well here that will help to create some self-awareness around that. This inner voice chirping in your ear reminds you of faults and past mistakes. It constantly brings them back up. It brings them back up, and you get stuck in this hamster loop. And like I said before, the past is behind us. We can learn from it, and that's what we want to do. We want to learn and grow from it, not get held back and pulled down. Okay, so yes, we're human. We all make faults. There's only one who didn't fault, and so consequently, we have faults. We've sinned. We do these things, and it could be something you know shouldn't do, and you just keep doing it. And that's something where we, again, taking some personal responsibility makes a big difference. This guy over here is talking to you about the achievements of others. They're comparing you to others. This life is you. It's solo. It's a solo ride, okay? You have direct responsibility and a sense of worth and feel love and all this stuff based around you. And so what are your achievements? Those are things that you should be spending your time on, reflecting, and not getting caught up in like, oh, this person did this or that. Great. Guess what? You can do twice as much as they are, because you can be better than they are, okay? And that just comes down to self-belief. They downplay your achievements and your strengths. So you might be a really caring, loving person, and on the inside, and like this downplay might shut you down. You might not show up as strong and powerfully as you should in certain situations that you can actually improve others' lives with. This guy magnifies your weakness, puts a magnifying glass on it, blows it up, and says, hey, you're no good because of X, you're no good because of Y, you eat horribly, and therefore you're fat. Like, just nonsense, okay? Complete and utter nonsense. And then this guy here, lastly, is quick to undercut. He will shut you down. He will chop your legs off, slide tackle you, trip you, knock you down, so then you stumble, and you stumble again, and you stumble again. And every time you try and get back up on your feet, you're stumbling. It's not even like you have one flat tire, it's like you have multiple ones. Now, a little prescription here for some self-love, okay? Got a couple different steps, 7 to be exact. So the first one is going to be mindful, okay? People who have more self-love tend to know what they think, they feel, they want. They're mindful of who they are and act on this knowledge rather than what others want them to do, right? So they're mindful of themselves. They've created that self-awareness. Number 2, they act on what they need rather than what they want, okay? Basic concepts. People that what they want gets them into obesity, gets them into financial debt, gets them into addiction, rather than focusing on the things that they need, which then they can really focus dialing in. So you love yourself when you can turn away from something that feels good and excites you to what you need to stay strong, centered, and moving forward in your life. Okay? This reminds me of this marshmallow study that they had with these 3-year-olds. Okay? So they had the 3-year-old, and they had the study coordinator, the person administering the test. They said, hey, they uncovered this marshmallow. It's on the table. They said, hey, if you can wait until I get back, I'll have more for you, more marshmallows for you. I'll have a surprise. And so it ultimately turned into the ones that could self-regulate their desires, their wants, their needs, got rewarded with 2 to 4 more marshmallows. They got more because they could wait. And they made these 3-year-olds wait upwards to 10 and 12 minutes, which was crazy. So you see these kids like squirming, and then you see the ones that just would pop that thing right in their mouth. They couldn't wait at all. And what the study shows us and tells us is that the ones that were able to deny at the time and delay gratification were way more successful in life. If you could delay gratification or delay that getting that sweet treat or whatever, that dessert or that piece of bread, or go delay taking a break and go work out, then you will naturally achieve more. I find myself kind of in that category a little bit. Sure, we all have that time where we want that instant quick fix, that instant gratification, whatever. But if we delay it and we focus on finding the things that we need rather than our desires of what we want, then we get ahead in life. Who's overspent? Okay, right? We've all overspent based on emotional desires, and if we just focus on our needs of just like basic security, safety, place to live, and then like our natural, our basic level of food needs and all that stuff, like we can live pretty humbly, and we can stay focused on what we need, and turning away from those automatic behaviors that get you into trouble. They keep you stuck in the past, and they lessen your self-love. The third one is practicing good self-care. You will love yourself more when you take better care of your basic needs. People high with self-love nourish themselves daily with healthy activities such as, I'm going to do it again, drink some more water. They practice sound nutrition. I'm trying to teach you the concepts of nutrition and how they can work in your life so that you can have the cake and eat it too. But on a higher level, you understand why you can have the cake, because you prepared the rest of the day to have plenty of protein, plenty of fibrous carbs and vegetables that gave you a little bit of room at the end of the day that you can have some cake and not go jump off the food cliff or restart your diet on a Monday because today's Tuesday and you can't, heaven forbid, you just make Wednesday better. Today is Monday, I know that. But say this was Tuesday and you had a piece of cake and then, oh, I'm just going to blow off the rest of the week. Then the next 4 to 5 days blow off and I'll start again on Monday. People do that stuff. Proper exercise. You should be moving a minimum amount. This guy right here, my little Fitbit, I'm at 15.5, so technically it means I have 2,000 more steps to do to reach my goal. It's 11 o'clock. Chances are I'm not moving 2,000 more steps. I did a bike ride for an hour today, so I did burn some calories that way. I just didn't get enough movement in the other times of the day. I did get a massage today, though. There's a little bit of self-love for you. Taking care of the body. Proper sleep. That's something I'm going to start running into. Right now, I have to wake up at 7, so I am under 8 hours of sleep right now. So I need to speak faster or condense what I'm saying to be able to get to bed sooner. And for you, too, those who are watching it right now, they have better intimacy with their partners. They have healthier social interactions. You set boundaries. You'll love yourself more when you set limits and you say no to work, to love, to activities that deplete or harm you physically, emotionally, spiritually, and express poorly who you are, right? So setting boundaries is incredibly important. Especially with like toxic relationships or toxic energy. We want to get that stuff out of here, okay? Because that stuff will weigh you down. What I talked about way back is the environment that you're in, the people that you surround yourself with can weigh you down. So you have to be very cautious and aware of those, what their energy is, what it's saying. Nothing's worse than a recovering alcoholic going to the bar and hanging out with people who are drinking. Like, not a good environment for you. Okay? You protect yourself. You bring the right people in your life, right? The term frenemies is something that I've learned, and it's described so well, a type of friends who take pleasure in your pain, right? The pain in your loss, rather than those that are looking for you to be happy and successful. Okay, the suggestion here: get rid of them. Just like I said, get rid of toxic, negative energy in your life. There's not enough time in the world in your life to waste on people who bring you down. Maybe they're better for other people, but they're not for you, and you need to say goodbye to them, because they will dim your light. They will pull you down. But if you can get rid of them and focus on people that are good, they're going to bring more love to yourself. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have more respect for yourself, and that's a really good thing. Another one here, forgive yourself, right? We as humans are so hard on ourselves. The downside of taking responsibility for action is punishing yourselves for too much mistakes and learning and growing. You have to accept your humanness, okay? The fact that you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I've done some things that I kind of regret, and I look back on them just like, man, like, just not cool. But if I dwelled in my past on the things that I have passed there, I need to learn from those and then direct myself in the direction that I want to lead myself. Be assertive and then take initiative and get rid of that stuff. So really practice being less hard on yourself when you do make a mistake, because you're going to make it, okay? Especially, let's say, with food. Like, oh, I had an Oreo. Well, don't have like 8, okay? Oh, I had a donut. Okay, well, how do we make the rest of the day better to bring that into what was going on in that world? We create some awareness around why you had it in the first place, and you can really kind of lessen the opportunity to have that happen again to you. The 7th one here is living intentionally. You will accept and love yourself more whenever life is happening with you. Okay, when you're living with purpose, with design, and your purpose it doesn't have to be crystal clear. Okay, your purpose doesn't have, but you're living intentionally. You're moving forward in the direction that you want, and this is important to the next steps in your life that you're going to take. Okay. And by making these decisions that support your intentions, they will then help you feel better about yourself, have more self-love, help you succeed in finding this purpose if it is not crystal clear. My purpose is to help others in health and fitness. I've been dialing that in, and what I want to do is elevate my game, my capacity to impact others tenfold now. So, like, we start working. I'm looking for the Midas touch. You work with BP, like, things are going to happen, like, no matter what. So, that's what I'm after, okay? Maybe we can find the fountain of youth in there along the way as well. Get rid of some of these gray hairs that are showing up. I'm 34, like, what the heck? More water. That gets rid of the gray hairs, right? So last up there, living intentionally. Establish your living intentions. I came across this thing called the living will, or your mission statement, so to speak, is this is how you're going to live your life. These are the things that matter most to you. These are the things that are going to, like, direct your movement forward. So, like, for example, I choose to live a Christian lifestyle, and then I am then dictated toward following that type of lifestyle. Or I am I want to eat healthy, I want to be active in my life, and therefore that consequently means that I'm working out on a regular basis, typically 5-6 times a week, that I'm going to purposely move my body in the direction that seeks self-improvement. Let's take some time right now, take a little time out here. We want to kind of get some self-reflection, get some of you guys and this guy working here instead of just listening to me. We're going to take a few minutes. We got 3 questions for you, okay? This is really going to help work on your self-image. So let's take a few minutes here and think about these things. So, number 1, when we're thinking about this in relation to self-love, what are your dominant negative beliefs that are going on? Things like, I'm unattractive, I'm a loser, I had one person said, I'm effing fat, like some pretty aggressive things. What are dominant negative beliefs that are hanging out inside here that limit your capacity for love, specifically self-love? Think about that. It could be a certain body type. It could be a certain socioeconomic class. It could be a certain way you dress. It could be a certain job that you hold now or have held in the past. It's things that hold you back. So think about that. What dominant negative beliefs do you have? Okay. Second question, number 2. Okay. And I'd love for you to, you can private message me these things. I would love, 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 love to interact and dialogue with you on this on a higher level, okay? Number 2, what are your primary sources of these beliefs? Where did these beliefs come from? Was it your parents, teachers, your classmates, your coworkers? What's that sphere of influence that is talking about those beliefs, that have helped shape those beliefs, have helped shape the things that have made you who you are? What are they? Your primary beliefs. So a simple one for me, a primary belief for me is just like being ripped and in shape, and so the media can totally play into my head on that one and make me feel not worthy enough because I don't look like a fitness model or something. I'm a father of 4, like I'm self-employed. There's a lot going on in my life, and so for me to try and maintain something like that, that's a lot, and it can bring me down a couple notches if I'm not in self-love mode, right? I don't look good enough, my abs aren't defined enough, and most people don't even care. My wife doesn't care. Like, I'm the only one who cares. And so this can weigh in on me. All right, third one. How valid are these beliefs? Are they based on facts? Consider the possibility that they are erroneous or just represent one way of looking at things. Like these beliefs that you might have in yourself, like the example, I'm unattractive, that might just be your view of yourself. Somebody else might find you pretty attractive. Maybe your spouse, okay? They see attractive qualities that draw them in towards you, okay? And what are they? Are these beliefs valid? Are they based on facts? We're going to be wrapping up here. I've got the rubber band test for you for a 3-day challenge. We've got self-love hacks. I have some pretty cool, empowering stuff to wrap up with. I saved the best for last. So, I came across this rubber band test challenge a while back, and I've used it on many, many people. But I don't have one with me. I didn't think that far ahead. So, take a rubber band, place it here, okay? Whenever you become aware that you are not experiencing self-love, that inner critic is talking to you and pointing you down, when you become aware of it, I want you to take that rubber band, pull it back as hard as you can, and snap it. Why, you might ask? Oh, we want to cause personal injury. No, I'm joking there, but we want to create a pattern interruption, okay? With the pattern interruption, what happens here is that we are able to then it's like we're driving in a car, right? And we have a CD, if you still play CDs, right? And it plays the same songs, same tracks in the same order, right? Same beats in the same order. And so what we want to do is we want to press the eject button. Take that soundtrack of your life, take that CD, scrape it all over the ground, put it back in, and press play again. What's going to happen? That soundtrack is gone. It is ruined. You're not going to hear any blips or beeps, just skips and whatever else. And what we want to do is replace that with the self-love kind, the positive energy kind. And so when we start snapping, you do this for like 3 days straight, you'll become aware of how much you actually engage in negative self-talk and negative self-love. And by becoming aware of these things, then you are able to shift. You're able to make an impact, a greater impact on your own life. Going back to that oxygen mask, right? If you put on the oxygen mask first, then you can serve all those that are around you. And so consequently, like, stopping the shitty talk to yourself, the negativity, is going to allow you to then love yourself more, which then pours into those that are around you, those 5 people, right? Your spouse, your kids possibly, your parents, co-workers. They will see a different light. I have one person right now, she is on fire. She is like smoking hot, because she is taking the self-love to the 10th notch. Like, I am so happy that she said yes to working together, because she has been absolutely incredible to see the shift that has happened in the last 3 weeks. Energy's through the roof. Nutrition's completely changed. It's affecting her own self. It's affecting her kids. Her kids are asking for spinach salads. Like, incredible. And these were things that were not seen before. And so, and a lot of this is coming from inside. She's taking back who she is, because she desires that person who she's in now. Even her relationship with a future partner. In the past, it would have been like, oh, I just want someone to like hang out with me and like watch TV and take care of me and snuggle and whatever. Now it's like, no, like, let's be active and let's do things and let's play life to the fullest. And that is awesome. So I'm really excited for her. So my challenge to you right now, and I want you to tell me and initiate that you're going to do this, okay? Say, Brian, I'm going to do the rubber band challenge, because I want you to step up into this and create some awareness for improving your self-love. So put a rubber band on here. You just pull it tight. Become aware. When you become aware that negative self-talk is starting to chatter in there, and you can stop it. If when you become aware and you're like, no, we're shutting that down right now, then you'll have to stop yourself, because it becomes aware. So again, raise your hand and let's get this going, okay? The rubber band self-love 3-day challenge. Next up, some self-love hacks, okay? These are things that can get you moving in the right direction. By consistently doing these on a regular basis, then we will be that much better off. I am currently about 50% done of the water since we started. So, self-love hacks. Start each day telling yourself something really positive, you know. It could be how you handle a situation, how lovely you look today, anything that will make you smile, how awesome you are. Hey, you are awesome, right? You can also journal this out. It's in the Momentum website for you guys in the VIP area. It's at the bottom. Journaling, ways to do it, talking about what you can be grateful for. Secondly, fill your body with food and drink that nourishes you, right? And makes you thrive. If you eat foods that were once living, recently, you eat them, it's going to give that energy to you. If you eat foods that were boxed and prepared who knows how long ago, guess what? they're not going to give you that energy. Okay, it's that simple. Don't believe everything you think. There's an inner critic inside all of us trying to keep us small and safe. Safety, security are top two of Maslow's pyramid. If you're not feeling that stuff, then it's not going to work out for you. If you're not safe and secure, which it starts with here, nothing can take this away. You can be poor and broke and out of a job and other things, but if you hold this in here, you will easily recover and rebound in certain life situations. So if you are allowing the inner critic to talk to you, then it's going to stop you from living life to the fullest. Another one, surround yourself with people who love and encourage you. Let them remind you just how amazing you are. If you don't have people around you like that, like, shame on you, you need to get more around. If you need a little more support from me, please engage. Please engage, and I'll give you that support. Okay, we'll pump you up. Ooh, maybe somebody can give me some support about my biceps growing. I need these guys to grow. Another one, stop comparisons. Okay, I can't compare myself to Arnold. I'm not him, right? I'm not an Arnold. And maybe in my inner being, I'll channel my inner Arnold. I'll be back, right? But stop comparing yourself with others. There's no one on the planet like you, so you can't fairly compare yourself to others. The only person that you should be comparing yourself is you. So you know what your capacity is, your limits are, how to push the gas, how to pump the brakes, all these things. Another one, and toxic relationships. Seriously, like, I've talked about this a bunch today. Anyone who makes you feel less than anything than amazing doesn't deserve to be a part of your life. Why? Because you're awesome and you're amazing. I think so. Celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small. Pat yourself on the back and be proud of what you've accomplished and achieved. This is something that I've done recently. Like, when I hire on a new client, it means that I have done a significant amount of work to get myself to where I'm at right now. Years and years and years and years and years and years and hours upon hours and days and weeks on education, on experience, on working with individuals, working in groups, like all sorts of things. So this is something I didn't do in the past, and I decided to do in the last few months was when I hire a new client, I'm going to have some sushi. I'm going to reward myself with something. I've rewarded myself with some clothes. I got this guy here, this nice little Adidas jacket. I got some shoes on the way coming. I hired 3 clients this week, so I'm going to get myself, I'm foregoing the sushi or clothes. I'm going to get some shoes, some nice kicks, and so because then I can feel really good about myself. And it's not about the things, but it's a simple reward, and we can do that for ourselves. Okay. But sushi, I used to never have sushi, and now I've had so much more sushi this year. It's love it. I don't know what was holding me back from having sushi. It was nonsense. Find something to be grateful about every day. This can go back to journaling, writing what you're grateful for, reflecting in the day, what you're looking forward to. Learn to say no. Saying no sometimes doesn't make you a bad person. Okay? It makes you a smart person. Forgiveness. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Okay? You know that thing that you did the one time, or maybe a few times, it gets you feeling bad, embarrassed, ashamed. It's time to let that stuff go. You can't change the things you've done in the past, but you can control what happens in the future. So look at it as a learning experience and believe in your ability to change. So if maybe you were a foodie and you binged on food, your fair share, learn to change that stuff. Another one, give up the need for approval from others. You don't need anyone's approval to do anything in this world. Okay? You just don't. You can do, act, and be. And if you are being and you are acting from self-love, others will undoubtedly flock towards you. Another one, let go of past trauma and wounds. This can be really tough because it may be one of those times where you just need to turn to others for support. The truth is, though, when we let go of these things that happen to us, it's almost like the weight is lifted off our shoulders. We can just let go of these things, they'll get lifted. You don't have to carry these things around anymore. Oftentimes when I'm working with clients and stuff, and they come in with this attitude or mood or whatever, I've actually had people, I've told them to leave the building, go drop off whatever that they brought in. I think one of you can remember, they came in with a bad mood. We didn't course correct. I made them drive down the road and then come back. Like, I'm fortunate that she didn't just go home, right? I said, nope, you're gonna have to go in your car, drive down to the end, come on back, and let's start this over again. And she did, and it made all the difference the rest of her day. So the person who did that knows. I will do that to people if they come in with a bad attitude. Psh, you need to go out because there's only good attitudes around here. Last up, find your happy place, right? This is where you're able to feel at ease, calm, happy, positive, high on life, right? Go to that place when you need to go through hard times and imagine yourself being there. So, Happy Gilmore, right? Happy place, happy place. And he was on the greens with beer and his dream girl, and hitting in a hole-in-one, and his coach, gosh, I can't remember his name. It's been a while since I've seen it. But go to your happy place, right? Last up, I saved this best for last, okay? This is fantastic. I'm going to leave you with this, okay? I really think this is dynamite here, okay? You are far more capable and competent than you can imagine. You are far more loving than you think. You are your primary source of your self-esteem. You are the master of your destiny. You choose your thoughts and feelings. You are okay just the way you are. No one is perfect. We have strength. We all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. But what makes a difference is who you think you are.